Hello, everyone. We're going to start. Please have a seat. Thank you very much. My name is Lawrence Schoenberg. I'm the senior scholar at the National Jazz Museum in Harlem, and this is a program that's funded by the Louis Armstrong Educational Foundation. It's the second year that we've done it, in which we salute some of the great women of jazz. In fact, we started 2 weeks ago with actually one who's alive and deserves the flowers now, the great Valerie Capers. And next year, we'll also be saluting some other folks. Last week, we had a wonderful presentation by Vincent Pilote about Lovey Austin, who was Mary Lou Williams, one of Mary Lou Williams' inspirations. And this evening, we're going to look at and listen to the wonderful Velma Middleton. And there's no better host on the entire planet to host this show than the great Ricky Riccardi. Armstrong biographer, and here he is. Ricky Riccardi, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great show.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. How many Velma Middleton fans in the house? All right, if you don't know Velma, you'll be a fan in the next hour and a half. My good friends at the New Orleans Jazz Museum, they actually have a motto down there. They say, "We want to party with Velma Middleton." And you will understand that because I've got a whole presentation lined up. We're going to watch Velma and learn about her and her whole life. But you are also here, I'm sure, for the great Brianna Thomas. And I don't want you to wait. We're going to kick off the show right now. I'm going to invite Brianna to come up with her group and do a number that was in Velma's repertoire for many, many years. I'll let her tell you about it. But please, round of applause, welcome the great Brianna Thomas. Yeah.
How are you? Thank you for that beautiful introduction. You guys look wonderful. We are going to keep this party rolling. Miss Velma Middleton, how about it for Miss Velma Middleton? Please help me welcome my brothers in arms, Mr. Conan Pappas, Mr. Ryan Berg, and Mr. Curtis Noasad. Here's one for the lovers. One, two, three, four. You made me leave my happy home. You took my love, and now you're gone. Since I fell for you, it brings such misery and pain. You know I'll never, 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 never be the same since I fell for you. Well, it's too bad. And it's too sad, but I'm in love with you. First you want to love me, then you've got to snub me. But what can I do? What can I do? For I'm in love with you. And get the blues, the blues, blues every night since I fell for you, 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 you. Well, it's too bad, and it's too sad, but I'm in love with you. First, you want to love me, but then you've got to snub me. Oh, now what can I do? What can I do? But I'm in love with you, and I guess I never see the light. I get the blues every night since I fell for you. Since I fell, since I fell, since I fell, since I fell, ooh, since I fell. Oh, since I fell, yeah, for you.
Brianna Thomas.
Mr. Ricky Riccardi.
They'll be back. They'll be back. They'll be back. Talk about a hard act to follow. Oh my God, I'm gonna have a PowerPoint presentation now. People are gonna they're gonna be booing. Jesus. I don't know how to follow. Honestly, I wasn't expecting. Yeah, she's the greatest. But speaking of the greatest, I do want to say we have one special guest in the house. Lauren gave me a very nice introduction. I'm the person to be doing this, blah, blah, blah. The person who should be doing this is actually sitting with us tonight. Please, folks, a round of applause. Miss Maxine Gordon is here. And I say that because Maxine is writing a book right now on 4 women pioneers in jazz, and Velma's one of them. And so she's been researching Velma, and she will, I'm sure, correct me. Or if I give you the look, just throw me a lifeline. But there will be a Q&A afterwards, and I hope to get Maxine involved. But this is Velma Middleton. If you go on Wikipedia right now, you're going to see that she was born September 1st, 1917. Don't trust what you read on Wikipedia, because right off the bat, that's the first mistake. Velma was born in Holdenville, Oklahoma. I don't know if Maxine was responsible for that change, but that's a good thing. Velma knew her birth date. These are her papers, a list of United States citizens leaving for South America in 1938. You can't see it from back there, but trust me, it says she was born in Holdenville, Oklahoma, September 1st, 1915. There's a slightly better version. This is from 1957. Same thing. Born September 1st, 15. So she added 2 years. I mean, she took away 2 years. You know, don't ask a lady her age. I get it, Velma. She gave very few interviews, so we don't know much about her childhood. We do know she ends up in St. Louis, and she becomes a mother of a son at a very young age. From my math, her son, Manuel Middleton, was born July 31st, 1927. So Velma was about 12. Emmanuel shows up in the 1930 census living with Velma's mother in Missouri, the St. Louis area. This is 2.5 years old. Velma's not there, so we don't know where Velma is. But obviously at a young age, we don't know how much schooling she has. She realizes entertainment is going to be her way out. So she first appears in a Kansas City newspaper. This is November 27th, 1930, the New Center Theater. And at the very bottom there's in a review called OK Babies, there's Velma Middleton. And then eventually she starts making her way up. This is in St. Louis, January 20th, 1933. A whole list of celebrities, and there's Velma in there. But then we get her in Kansas City, 1933 to 34, and now her reputation, which will follow her for the rest of her career, is in writing. It says, let's see, the new featured entertainer at the Harlem this week is Velma Middleton from the Club Plantation in St. Louis. She is appropriately billed as 300 pounds of joy. And so this becomes Velma's thing. Not only is she large, but she can also dance, and she could also do splits. And so this is something that is there by the time she's 18. And you see she's sharing the bill at the Harlem nightclub in Kansas City with the great Benny Moten. So Count Basie's probably in that band, Hot Lips Page, Walter Page, and Velma's dancing. Eventually she goes back to St. Louis. This is a benefit here. Velma Middleton, what a girl. She also was a scream, singing and dancing. And when she did the split, she brought the house down. That's 1934. She goes up to Brooklyn, Illinois at the end of 34 to play with Eddie Johnson at the Harlem Club. But eventually, after playing all these clubs with Harlem in the name, she comes to Harlem in 1935. Interestingly, if this was an eye exam, you all would probably see Louis Armstrong. But tiny, that's Mrs. Louis Armstrong. Lillian Hardin Armstrong was leading a band. You'll see Bob Howard, you'll see Pigmeat Markham. This is the Apollo Theater, and this was Velma's debut in Harlem. And it was big news in St. Louis. They mentioned Velma Middleton is playing the Apollo this week in New York. Also, coincidentally, this was Louis Armstrong's week that he returned to the USA. But her first review in the New York Age from Harlem, Velma Middleton cannot sing and is much too weighty to dance, but she tries to do both. The result to this reviewer is pathetic, though some may find it funny. This is another thing that will haunt Velma to her final days. Critics. Critics do not want to see her singing, dancing, and doing splits. They find it tasteless. Velma doesn't listen. She listens to the people and has a pretty successful career. She's with Fats Waller's Review for a while. Velma Middleton, who defies all laws of gravity by cavorting despite her tremendous proportions. You know, so she was there. Again, back at the Apollo Theater, where she joins in with Erskine Hawkins, the Gabriel trumpet player. And Erskine Hawkins had a piano player named Avery Parrish. And you might know him. He's the guy who wrote After Hours, which kind of became a classic. The first mention of Velma and Avery, 1936, mentions that they were falling in love. But then May 3rd, 1937, 380-pound Velma Middleton, I think that was an inflated number, married 128-pound. They call him Avery Stanfield. His name is Avery Parrish, but they got married in 1937. Here's a photograph of Velma, Avery Parrish, and Velma's son, Manny. He was about 15 here now, 1939. Unfortunately, they did get divorced in 1941, but they might not have gotten divorced. They definitely got separated because when Velma died, her funeral program still said Velma Middleton Parrish. So she kept the name, but now she's with Erskine Hawkins, and we finally get the first picture of Velma doing the split. This is from Atlantic City, August 2nd, 1937. And so we're gonna see lots of splits tonight because this becomes her thing. Here's another article mentioning Velma Middleton, the gal they call baby because she tips the scales around 275 pounds. But then, here she is again doing the split in Atlantic City. Here she is doing the split with Don Redman, 1941. But her big break, she gets hired by Jimmy Lunsford and does a tour with Bill Bojangles Robinson. And it's here where The jazz press notices her for the first time, and the print is actually so small, I gotta look it up here. George T. Simon, who was a great jazz critic, he reviewed the Jimmy Lunceford Band and said of Velma, unnecessary. Velma Middleton, the show's lowlight, came on to do some fair Holiday and June Richmond imitations, but seeing a big, fat, too unclothed body wallowing around the stage doesn't come with this reviewer's appreciation of tasty entertainment. In fact, it's more on the nauseating side. Critics, but who's paying attention? Joe Glazer. Armstrong always had a female vocalist going back to 1935, but they would just come on, sing their song, and leave the stage. Velma could obviously do more than that, and Joe Glazer was always looking for more, entertainment. So in 1942, Armstrong's vocalist, Ann Baker, had a baby. She had to go on, I don't know if they had maternity leave in 1942, but she had to leave the band. So Joe Glazer moves in and hires Velma. This is March 28th, 1942. A ton of talent and voice. That's the headline of the Pittsburgh Courier. But now she gets the job right when Armstrong is making a series of soundies. Now, soundies, if you don't know, these were the first music videos. You would go to a bar, put a nickel in the slot, stick your head in the machine, and watch your favorite artist do like a 3-minute music video. So we get Velma. It was not thought to pair Velma and Louis Armstrong yet. So you're going to see Velma singing with the band's trombone player, George Washington. But they do a blues called Swingin' on Nothing. Sid Catlett's on drums. You'll see Louis Russell on piano. But then Velma takes over. She starts dancing. Stay till the end for the splits. If anybody's out in the streets, call them in right now, because this is, you don't want to miss this. Oh, do we have audio? We had it before. All right, let me double check. Hold on, folks. Yeah, I had it switched before. It might have. Yeah, headphones. Here we go. 1942. Big Sid Catlett.
Cause I like to see you with it. Now hit it.
Don't tell me, George. I know that again.
Solid. Swinging away.
Swinging on nothing.
Swinging, I say.
Swinging on nothing.
Just swinging for pay.
Swinging on nothing,
Lord.
Are you not entertained? But by 1943, I guess Ann Baker was, the baby was old enough for Ann Baker to join the band. Velma leaves Louis Armstrong, goes right back to work, joins another Bill Robinson review. She stars in a review in Detroit. But again, Ann Baker was a fine singer, but she just sang. And I think Joe Glazer, after having Velma there for 9 months, dancing, doing the splits, doing all this stuff, said, no, all right, Velma, you're going to rejoin Armstrong. So she does. She comes back in 1944. And she basically stays with Armstrong until her passing in 1961. I have another review. I think you get the point with the reviews. Leonard Feather reviewed her at the Apollo. Said that the audience loved her, but Leonard Feather did not find it tasteful at all. So I want to thank the Jazz Museum of Harlem for giving Velma Middleton a night, because there were, seriously, this old guard of critics, they would have frowned at something like this. Like, how can you celebrate Velma Middleton? But, they're the ones who missed out. And we have these beautiful photos of Velma these are all from the big band era. They played a lot of military bases, and this photo is a special one for Maxine and I, because the saxophone player on the bottom there with the big feet, as Maxine always mentions, that's Dexter Gordon. And there's Velma on stage. And so they do plenty of military bases. We have these beautiful photos off stage. She becomes one of Louis Armstrong's closest friends in the band. This is her program. If you want to see a Louis Armstrong, she got her own page in the program, which again lied about her age. Now it said she was 24, but she was about 30. Blurry shot, but Time magazine featured her as well. She made records with Armstrong. RCA Victor, I love this. This is an RCA Victor studio date from April 1946, but she shows up with the mink coat and the whole thing. So she was all class. But then Armstrong forms the small group, the All-Stars. And for the very first gig at Billy Berg's in Los Angeles, Velma wasn't there. I think Louis thought this was just going to be kind of like a jam session kind of thing. But then he starts getting booked into Carnegie Hall, Symphony Hall, these actual concert halls, and he realized, I need Velma. Velma, if people are going to be staring at me for 2 hours, we need to give them some comedy. Now, in the mid-40s, Armstrong had a new music director named Teddy McRae. And Teddy McRae was the first person to pair Louis and Velma. He's like, you guys should sing a duet. And their first duet was Don't Fence Me In. Then eventually they added Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby. And by the time the All-Stars came around, Frankie Lane's That's My Desire was the big hit. So Louis and Velma came up with a routine on That's My Desire. They recorded it on the album Satchmo at Symphony Hall, which is a classic version. There's Velma with the All-Stars, Big Sid Catlett, Barney Bigard, Jack Teagarden. But for you guys, I brought a video from 1950, so enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I dedicate this next number to Jackie Formain and his pretty little fiancée, Mary, Dr. Crone, and Dr. Gottlieb. I will bring our vocalist, Velma Middleton, out to jump a good one called That's My Desire. Come here, baby.
Back there.
We'll sip a little glass of wine. I'll gaze into
rendezvous and reminisce with you. That's my desire.
Mine too.
Mine too. To meet where gypsies play down in that dim cafe. That's my desire. We'll sip a little glass of wine.
A little muscatel.
Yeah, yeah. I'll gaze into your eyes divine. I'll feel the touch of your chops all wrapped up amongst mine. Do you hear you whisper love? Doggone, it's time to go. Darling, I love you so. That's my desire. You found someone new. Bamba that those bamba woofers. I'll always love you. Bamba said, no, yes. That's my desire.
Just an unbeatable team. The trombonist, Trumba Young, said you could not follow them on stage. I mean, Louis would keep their duets for the very end of the show because that was it. There was no coming back. These photos were taken at the Apollo Theater. Obviously, they were huge favorites at the Apollo. But again, the jazz world, they would kind of poo-poo this kind of stuff. When Armstrong did a tour with Benny Goodman, an ill-fated tour, Benny Goodman said, we're going to be playing Carnegie Hall. That's too dignified. Velma Middleton cannot do the splits. And Louis saw red. And he goes, she does the splits, or I'm not going to perform. And Velma did the splits, and audience went crazy. Then Benny Goodman came on after that and couldn't get any applause. And he actually faked a heart attack about a week later, and then that's a whole story for another day. But Velma, she never really, she was beloved by Armstrong's fans. She only got like one record date, some singles for the Dutone label, which we have a fuzzy copy of the Armstrong House, but they've never been reissued or anything. And then in 1952, she finally appeared on the cover of Jet magazine. This was Louis Armstrong's copy I'm about to show you. Yes, the headline, Famous Fat Woman. So that was pretty much how Velma was known. But she did not let it get to her, at least as far as we know. I mean, she was on the road 300 days a year, and she took her job seriously. And at the Newport Jazz Festival in 1956, CBS brought a newsreel crew just to shoot some footage. And through my methods, which I will not reveal, I obtained a copy of this footage. And the sound was really bad, and it was really choppy, and the performances were not complete. But Columbia Records recorded Armstrong at Newport in 1956. So I synced up the sound. Velma would always come on first and do a blues, and that's when she did the split. They turned the camera on probably right after the split, but you'll see her in full flight doing her dance. And then the big rock and roll hit of this time from 1955 was Kokomo, and Louis and Velma would do a duet on Kokomo. So I synced up the sound. Unfortunately, the camera cut off towards the end of Kokomo, so I just faked it. You'll see some repeated shots. It doesn't really work, but just to get another glimpse of the raw magnetism of Louis and Velma, let's go to Newport 56, and we'll pick it up from the end of Velma's Blues. Yeah, Newport, 1956. My kind of crude edit, but you get the message there. And yeah, of course, recurring theme: the critics savaged her, and they actually got meaner and meaner as Velma went on. 1957, I don't have to give you the whole story, but that's when Louis Armstrong basically puts his career on the line to speak out against racial injustice in Little Rock. And you would think today we teach this in schools. It's like the defining civil rights moment of Armstrong's life. He got a lot of criticism, and Dorothy Kilgallen, the syndicated columnist, she criticized Armstrong and threw Velma under the bus. She said, at any rate, Satchmo hardly qualifies as an expert on what contributes to the advancement of the colored race. If he did, he would have long ago divorced himself professionally from Velma Middleton, whose tasteless, nay, vulgar performances what the Armstrong band rate as handkerchief head with progressives and do anything but elevate the prestige of the Negro in our society. So Velma getting thrown under the bus. Then by 1958, she was actually gaining more weight, and she couldn't do the split anymore. And a critic, Patrick Scott, in Toronto, went to see the band and reported back, vocalist Velma Middleton did not do the splits, which was a bitter disappointment to me since I had hoped to see her break a leg. I mean, cruel, 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 cruel. But Armstrong defended Velma to the death. I mean, in 1957 at Newport, they had hired Ella Fitzgerald to go on before Louis Armstrong. And George Wein and the powers that be at Newport, they had read the reviews from the previous year that we just watched, and they told Louis Armstrong, no Velma, we've got Ella tonight. And Velma started crying backstage. And Louis was getting dressed, and apparently he left his dressing room buck naked and just cursed out every single person there, and Velma went on. You know, he was very, very defensive of Velma. And then when he made records, Louis Armstrong plays W.C. Handy, Satch plays Fats, Satchmo musical autobiography. He insisted Velma be on those records. The producer at Columbia, George Avakian, at first he didn't quite understand. He's like, well, why do we need Velma? But then he told me years later, he said Velma was family. That's how Louis Armstrong viewed her. And if you know the album Louis Armstrong plays W.C. Handy, the first track is St. Louis Blues, which is, it was the actual one single recording that changed my life the first time I heard it. And by 1959, he said Velma's starting to move a little slower, couldn't quite do the splits, but she was still the same incredible entertainer. And I would like to show you a performance of St. Louis Blues. This is from Germany, Stuttgart, Germany, February 15th, 1959. And if you're not in a better mood in the next 6 minutes, something's wrong. So here's St. Louis Blues. Billy Kyle on piano, Trummy Young trombone, Peanuts Hucko clarinet, Daniel Barcelona drums, Mort Berger on bass.
We're gonna pay a little tribute to W.C. Handy's St. Louis Blues, sung by our vocalist, Velma Middleton.
Say, I hate to see that evening sun go down. Said, makes me feel like I'm on my last go round. If I'm feeling tomorrow just like I feel today, yes, feeling tomorrow like I feel today. Gonna pack my trunk, make my getaway. St. Louis woman wears her diamond ring. She pulls her man around by her apron string. If it wasn't for powder, store-bought hair, that man that I love, he wouldn't have gone nowhere.
Yes, I went to the gypsy to get my fortune told. I went to the gypsy to get my fortune told. And the gypsy told me about my jelly roll. Yes. Yes, the gypsy had fortunes all over the place. Yeah, the gypsy had fortunes all over the place. But when she looked into my hand, she slapped me right in the face. She
Baby, I ain't built so fine. Ain't good looking. Baby, I ain't built so fine. Not all the boys like me. Ooh, I take my time.
I'm gonna grab me a picket from somebody's fence.
Wait now.
Yeah. Snatch me a picket from somebody's fence.
Don't go berserk now, baby.
I'm gonna whip your head. I tell you learn some sense.
I done learned, man. Get it.
Do you feel better than you did 6 minutes ago? I mean, that's Louis and Velma. Velma kept going till the very end. Herb Snitzer, the great photographer, took these photos in 1960 of Velma at Tanglewood, still doing everything. But she was slowing down, 45 years old, but it's a grueling, grueling life. And by the end of 1960, Armstrong was offered the State Department-sponsored tour of Africa. And it was going to be a grueling tour. And it came out later that apparently Louis and his manager, Joe Glazer, they offered Velma twice the amount of money just to stay home because they were afraid that this might be a little too tough for her. Velma wanted to perform. So she went with the band. We have a color photo. This is Armstrong in Nigeria in October 1960. There's Velma there in color. City after city, country after country. They finally got a break in December 1960. And that allowed Armstrong to film the movie Paris Blues with Sidney Poitier and Paul Newman. But then on New Year's Eve, they did a gig, on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, they did gigs in Paris. that the British Pathé website had silent footage of Armstrong in Rhodesia, which included him touring the country, performing with the All-Stars, and then Velma performs. And again, it's silent, but it's Velma. But then, about a year or two ago, I received a copy of the New Year's Eve concert from Paris, 12 days before she had the stroke. And so what do you think the last song she performed was? After You've Gone. And so I've included After You've Gone. And so I've included the audio of Velma's last surviving performance with the silent footage of the last footage we have. Grab a tissue if you got it, but here's Velma swinging to the end here with this footage of the All-Stars in Rhodesia. Oops, I have to start the audio.
Velma Middleton has a request for After You're Gone.
Left me sighing after you've gone and left me crying. You'll feel blue, you'll feel bad, you'll miss the best gal you ever had. There'll come a time, now don't forget it. There'll come a time, now don't regret it. Oh, babe, look what you're doing. This love I have for you is driving me to run. After you've gone, I mean you've gone away. Oh, baby, after you've gone and left me sighing, after you've gone, there's no denying. You'll feel blue, you'll feel bad, you'll miss the best gal you ever had. There'll come a time, now don't forget it. There'll come a time, and you'll regret it. Oh, babe, look what you're doing. This love I have for you is driving me to ruin. After you've gone, I mean you've gone away. Chick you ever had. There'll come a time, now don't forget it. There'll come a time, and you'll regret it. Oh, babe, look what you're doing. This love I have for you is driving me to ruin. After you've gone, after you've gone away.
ovation, you know, man. She got that every night wherever she went. And yes, she also did St. Louis Blues at that final concert in which she sang the lyrics, "I'm gonna love that man till the day I die." So her stroke was written up in the newspapers. You know, here's photograph. Velma Middleton, vocalist with Louis Armstrong, was reported victim of heart attack at first in Paris, unable to continue the tour with the band. But it was a stroke, and like I said, she passed away alone in Africa. At first, Louis received criticism. People were like, "Oh, he should have stayed." You know, he was from the old school. You know, show must go on. You know, the story of Ella Fitzgerald's sister dying, go out there. You know, he had to keep going. But him and Joe Glazer, they pulled the strings to at least get Velma's body sent back to New York. They had a huge funeral, and this was a 3-page obituary, "Twinkle, Twinkle, Big Star," you know, all about Velma and how beloved she was. Hundreds of people came to the church, and she passed away. Louis Armstrong, he said that no one was going to replace Velma, and he did not want to replace Velma. Joe Glazer knew that it was good to have a female vocalist to break things up, so Jewel Brown was hired later in 1961, and Jewel Brown stayed till the end, but she never did any duets with Louis Armstrong. He knew that those things, St. Louis Blues, "That's My Desire," "Baby It's Cold Outside," "Don't Fence Me In," those were the property of Velma. So like I said, she was a punching bag for the critics, never really made records of her own, but some things happened. I think Maxine can also attest to this in the last 5, 10, 15 years, where all of a sudden people are, you know, reacting like that crowd in France. They love Velma. They feel the warmth. They feel her spirit. And I'm just so thankful to be here tonight celebrating Velma. So thank you for having me. Thank you for taking this little tour of Velma. If Brianna's ready, we can bring Brianna back out. Hey, there she is. Brianna Thomas, folks. I just have to ask real quick, what was your first exposure to Velma Middleton?
Oh my goodness. Well, seeing her sing with Louis, yes.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. But I have to say, Ricky, in his infinite knowledge and wisdom, sent me something that, did you play the?
I did not, no.
So Velma Middleton's whole family was gifted. Yeah. Her brother, her son, her mother. Did the mother play piano?
Yeah, also, yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, and they came from the church and from blues, and they made a tape sending Louis Armstrong a holiday greeting.
Yep.
And if you have a chance to listen to it, I encourage you. It's on the site.
It's on, so if you go to the Louis Armstrong House, we have a virtual exhibit site. It's virtualexhibits.louisarmstronghouse.org. Just search for Velma Middleton Celebration. We did this for her centennial, I believe, a few years ago. And we have some audio of some of the Africa concerts, but we put this half-hour tape on there. The All-Stars had a rare break at the end of December 1957. And Velma, she had a tape recorder, and she decided to involve the whole family and make a tape for Louis Armstrong. And they play Sam Cooke records, and they sing spirituals, and Velma sings Them Their Eyes, and it's beautiful, and it's all on the web. I figured because you can easily find it, I brought the rare stuff from the secret stash tonight. But go home. I asked earlier, and a few people kind of looked at me puzzled. How many Velma Middleton fans now? Oh, there we go. That's how we do it.
2 hands and 2 feet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. We'll do a Q&A
great.
later. But for now, Brianna Thomas, take it over.
Ricky, come back. I don't know if they told you, but Ricky just won his second Grammy. Give a round of applause for Ricky.
It's true. It's true. Oh, thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. 2 down, more to go.
Yes. Okay, well, we're going to do a song for you now. Of course, Miss Velma Middleton sang it, and I'm sure that you will, if you haven't heard the song, I'm sure you will understand the sentiment. It's, I was crying for you, now it's your turn. This is, this is I Cried for You. telling you it's your turn. La 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 la. It's your turn, your turn. Oh, it's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn. Baby, it's your turn. Oh, it's your turn. It's your turn to cry for me. Thank you. Mr. Conan Pappas. Yes. I know you know that feeling. Say amen if you know that feeling. Yes, it's like you took everything but the last piece of cheese. I'm not about to be grateful. And when you start crying, I'm going to be over here somewhere. But we got to keep peace in our hearts. So here's for empathy and not letting ourselves become what we don't like. We're going to do a song now that I love this song. I learned it first with my father's group. He was a drummer and a vocalist. And ever since I was very little, I was around him and hearing this song. And of course, again, our girl, Miss Velma Middleton, with her sparkling personality, sang this song. This is called After You've Gone. me crying after you've gone. There's no denying you feel blue and you feel sad. You'll miss the dearest pal that you've ever had. After the years we've been together, their joy and tears, all kinds of weather. Someday, blue and downhearted, you long to be with me, right back where you started. After you've gone, after you've gone away. After you've gone away. Thank you. Thank you so much. How about it for these amazing guys on stage? Mr. Curtis Noasad, Mr. Ryan Berg, yes, and Mr. Conan Pappas. Well, now that we understand that if you made me cry, when you cry, I'm good. And after you've gone, you cry and I'm good. We're going to get into a song that I'm sure you're all familiar with. W.C. Handy wrote this song about a Midwest town. I'm from the Midwest. Who in here is from the Midwest? Raise your hand. Hey, Midwest in the house. Midwest is the best. Everything came through the Midwest. I'm in the East now. I love the East. But I have to say that I was very fortunate to be in a melting pot where I grew up, where any kind of music that you could think of came through there. So this is a song from that rolled right through there, but it was from St. Louis. St. Louis woman, with them their diamond rings, pulling that man around by her apron strings. That's right. My baby, he done left this town. If I'm feeling tomorrow like I feel today, if I'm feeling tomorrow like I feel today, I'm gonna pack my trunk and make my getaway. St. Louis woman with her diamond rings. Oh, how she pulls that man around by her apron strings. And if it wasn't for powder and for store-bought hair, that man that I That man got a heart like a rock cast in the sea. Else he wouldn't have gone. Or else he wouldn't have gone. Or else he wouldn't have gone so far from me. Thank you. You know what I say? Those who left couldn't stay, and those that stayed could never leave. Sayonara. He ain't on my apron strings no more. Well, one of Velma Middleton's beloved recordings with Louis Armstrong is her performing St. Louis Blues into this next number. If you feel like dancing, be my guest. La 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 la. Ba da do da boo. Talk to me, baby, whisper in my ear. Talk to me, baby, whisper in my ear. Come a little closer, have no fear. Say it again. Talk to me, baby, whisper in my ear. Talk to me, baby, whisper in my ear. Come on a little closer, have no fear. Talk to me now. What you say? What you told me, I heard what you said. Heard what you told me, heard what you said. Come a little closer, baby. Oh yes, I heard what you told me, heard what you said. I heard what you told me, heard what you said. You give me good reason to get on out of bed. Talk to me. Talk to me again. Dimples on my knees, dimples on my knees, dimples on my elbows, dimples on my knees. Come a little closer, baby, give me a squeeze. I got dimples on my elbows and on my knees, dimples on my elbows and on my knees. Come, and give me a squeeze. Give me. Whisper in my ear. Talk to me, baby, whisper in my ear. Come a little closer, have no fear. Oh, don't you know I love you so? Don't you know I love you so? Oh, when you come a little closer, I love you so. Don't you know I love you so? Don't you know I love you so? Oh, baby, 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 my Kokomo. Kokomo, my yes, I heard what you told me. I heard what you said. I heard what you told me. I heard what you said. Have you guys had a good time? Let me see. How many singers do we have in the house? Hey! When I say, oh, don't you know, you say, don't you know. Let's try it. Oh, don't you know? 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 I got another one for you. When I say, I love you so, you say, I love you. I love you so. 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 Okay, I think we ready. Y'all ready? All right, here we go. Oh, don't you know? I love you so. Oh, don't you know? I love you so. When you holler, hey, Kokomo, give yourselves a round of applause. All right, y'all. The band dropped it for us, but now they're about to come on. Y'all ready? You ready? Oh, don't you know? I love you so. Oh, don't you know? I love you so. When you holler, hey, Kokomo, one more time. Don't you know? I love you so. Oh, don't you know? I love you so. When you holler, hey, hey, hey. When you holler, hey, hey, hey. When you holler, hey, hey, hey. Say it with me. Hey, Kokomo. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Mr. Conan Pappas on piano, Mr. Ryan Berg on bass, and Mr. Curtis Noasad on the drums. My name is Brianna Thomas, and I'm so grateful you came out to spend time at the Harlem Jazz Museum for Velma Middleton. Make some noise. God bless you guys. Be safe, be smart, be kind, and stay human.
One more time, Brianna Thomas, my goodness. Once again, there's no following that, but if anybody has any questions. Now would be, yes.
Just quickly, did Velma ever get into the vaudeville circuit, or how did
Yeah. So
she get going?
in her early career, that was pretty much it, vaudeville. She would go on these bills, come out, sing one or two songs, do her dance, and that was it. And that was enough to make her reputation, which, you know, it was one thing for Louis Armstrong and Jimmy Lunsford to hire her, but when she wasn't with a band, she was just on her own, you know, finding whatever the vaudeville bills, Apollo.
Did she have an agent, or did she?
No, from what I can tell, I don't think she had an agent of her own. But Maxine's here. Maxine is Maxine should be answering the questions here. There we go. Hold on, here. Maxine, take over.
She began working when she was 13. So, yeah, she's from Oklahoma, in a sundown town. So when I started the research on her, and I was reading about the town where she's born, and it said sundown town, and luckily I was with some other fellows that, in a fellowship, they call fellows, who was doing research on that area of Oklahoma, and he was like, oh yeah, if she was born there, that's serious. You don't forget that. So that's part of what I'm writing about. And then I got totally, obsessed. Maybe not obsessed, but carried away with Oklahoma. Her being born there and where she went, and then dying in Sierra Leone. So it kind of like from a sundown town, which, I mean, I'm sure people know that that means if black people went out after sundown and somebody shot them dead, it wasn't a crime. So, I mean, you're going to go there and then die and see her early on tour with Louis Armstrong. I mean, that's quite a life. She was 44 or 46. We're not. It doesn't matter. My mother did the same thing.
Well, we look forward to Maxine's book quartet. But for now, we wish you all a very happy good night. And thank you, Lauren Schoenberg. Take us home, Lauren.
I just want to say something just real quickly as we conclude here. Thank all the wonderful musicians, but I want to say something about Ricky and Brianna, because they're at least a generation younger than me, and what you've both done in your own ways as educators, as historians. I'm getting a chill at my back just thinking about it. So, no, but I really am. What you've done in your art and in your writing and your curatorship and all the wonderful things that you do, I just want to let you know that you're going to take this stuff deep into this century. And thank you so much for all you've done.
Thank you for all you've done.
Thanks, Ricky. Thanks, Brianna. No, not at all.